day because I recently just uploaded another video using the CoverGirl Get Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, but throughout this process I did use my Rimmel Stay Matte Primer, and I said to myself, oh my lord, I have to do an updated video on this primer right here. Glam Dolls, I have to retract my first statements I made in my video. Yeah, that's just what it is. I have to retract them statements. Now, in my very first video of me using this, I did use this on top of my makeup because according to this primer, it has two different directions on it, in which very briefly I'm going to go over it with you again. On the back of the packaging, it says, Skin Perfecting Primer can be worn alone, right, comma, under makeup, or, keyword, or on top to create a perfect matte complexion. Control shine for up to 8 hours. Now, right off the bat, as I said in my first video, this primer, it has two different directions. You can wear it underneath your makeup, so it can behave as a primer. It'll minimize your pores. Or, if you want to use it to have a matte complexion after you apply your foundation, you would apply this on top of it, which it will blend in and disappear, and it's supposed to give you a matte finish, and it was supposed to control your shine for up to 8 hours. Well, when I applied it on top of my makeup, like over the foundation and whatnot, to give me that matte complexion, it did in the initial beginning, but like an hour or two thereafter, my skin got extremely shiny, and then I was looking like a grease ball. And if you really want to see what I'm talking about, I suggest you clicking the link down below, and you can see that first video that'll take you, showing you what I mean by I look like a grease ball in that video. Now that I gave this a second try, I followed the directions as far as acting as a primer, and I listened to some of my glam dolls that, you know, comment on my first video. I used it like a primer. And glam dolls, I must tell you, yeah, this lady here has to retract her statements. It did work for me, and it did control my oily skin. I wouldn't necessarily say for up to the 8 hours, but I was satisfied more with the result, with it using it as a primer to control my oily skin, as opposed to me applying it on top of my makeup to control my oily skin. If that makes sense to you, glam dolls. But in any case, I just wanted to give you an update on this video. I do like this. I have been using this religiously, and I'm going to continue to use it once I finish this bottle. But I will say I will not purchase a second bottle of this. That's all. I'm not going to purchase a second bottle. But to say that it was supposed to help control my oily skin, yes, it did. It just didn't do it for the full 8 hours, but I'm completely satisfied with what it did do and how it did behave after I used it in a different way. So that's it. I want to come back and give you this quick update because, you know, when you put a product out there and you speak on it, you're giving your first impressions. And if later on I kind of feel if it did work out for you, or if you found it as a better use in a different way, I do feel you should come back and let your glam dolls know, or let my glam dolls know that, hey, you know, my first time around I used it in a certain way and it didn't quite work for me in that way, but when I used it the second way, it did work. If that all makes any sense for you, glam doll. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to continue on with my day, and I will see my glam dolls in another video again shortly. Later, babes.